Unraveling a family's secrets amidst a mysterious disappearance and increased police presence.
That are singing her praises because they are friends with Savannah, and Savannah won't dare say anything bad. The whole case is questionable. Tell me what is going on. They need to explain. So what's happening right now? Straight up is what I just told you. We're at day 74. The only thing we've seen is a few masked men that were released, or one masked man, a couple of footages, different nights. We saw a car that we assumed to be a Kia, right? We have some DNA that's being tested, and we have different suspects that us YouTubing sleuths are looking at because law enforcement is giving us nothing. All right, nothing, nada, zip, zero, zilch. All right, so I ask you now. I'm going to ask you now to thank you so much, Rose, for the $5 super sticker. Thank you towards our goal. All right, so that's always odd, and it always comes back to this is part of the family dynamics in this case. Why is he doing this? Why is he covering his face like that? Why isn't he not saying, hey, we need help? All right, so Nancy Guthrie, new danger in Annie Guthrie's neighborhood. That Wednesday, April 15th, today, Nancy Guthrie's neighborhood saw increased police presence after she was kidnapped. But now reports have emerged of more cops in Annie's neighborhood too. And you might ask yourself, why so many cops and why do they keep revisiting? Are they watching them? Is the house wired? Do they have cameras? Are they bugging both places? Because you certainly have to. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much, Rose. You have to look at this situation from all angles, right? And the angles that I keep looking at come back to one particular angle. So you guys want to know what's happening on day 74, and here we go. This is what's happening. Um no, well, here's the thing is FBI is working behind the scenes allegedly. In my opinion, and allegedly they're working hard behind the scenes to get that DNA, separate it, and get it into the genetic genealogy. Now, I'll tell you right now, the missed DNA was missed from that bite light and those shrubberies. But what if it wasn't missed? How do we know that law enforcement didn't collect that in the house and we just don't know yet? No, they're both places. So SoCal. Let me finish this and then we'll continue. So we're going in the duality today of the siblings relationship and family dynamics. Okay, we're gonna have two scenarios. Now, those are the Guthrie sisters on the Today Show, daughters to Nancy. Now we know Nancy Guthrie's neighborhood saw increased police presence after the 84-year-old was kidnapped. We all know that. Now, a new report has emerged of the heightened law enforcement presence in daughter Annie's neighborhood as well. Remember, we're on day 74, and I'm giving you this straight out of the press. Today is what they're talking about, all right? Now you could go on X and you could find stuff if you look hard enough, but I'll do that for you. Now, notably, Annie and Nancy live closer to each other, with the latter's house being in Catalina Foothills near Tucson, Arizona. Nancy, who's also the mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie, had dinner with Annie the night authorities believe she was taken from her home. Now, her son-in-law, Tommaso, that likes to cover his face, reportedly dropped her off after that, making him and Annie among the last people to see Nancy before she was taken. Now, initially, Ashley Banfield, a former News Nation journalist, claimed that Tomacioni was a suspect. However, this turned out to be wrong, as Pima County Chris Nanos, who's in charge of this shitty investigation, stated that none of the Guthrie family members were suspects. Do I believe that? Hell no. Now, while clearing the family members, local authorities have aided the FBI, have not turned up any suspects, not even any people of interest anymore, guys, with over 2 months having elapsed since Guthrie was reported missing. Now, the new report has outlined some troubles with Annie Guthrie that she's facing in her neighborhood, prompting the sheriff to deploy more people. Now, what troubles are Annie Guthrie facing? What? Why? With Guthrie's disappearance, it's drawing so much attention. There are plenty of online outlets and individual content creators in that area. And some of them have headed to Annie's neighborhood as well. And I assume that they're out there waiting for her to come out, get a picture, get a response, watch her take the trash out. As per the report, YouTubers have been parading around in Tucson area and what they call harassing people, guys. Now, News 4 Tucson picked that up, that Guthrie's neighbors complained about a particular YouTuber harassing residents in the area. Now, according to the police sheriff's office, confirmed that they have also received similar complaints from Guthrie's daughter, Annie, in relation to her neighborhood. Thus, there are now more officers patrolling the area. Recently, a YouTuber had posted a video from outside Annie and Tommaso's home where the latter allegedly said something along the lines of asking to be left alone. Now, this streamer could be heard in the video saying that they were moving out of the area, which is wild. That I wonder who this is, right? So, case update today. This is where we stand right now. The search for Nancy Guthrie continues. Her family has urged neighbors and other Tucson community members to think back to January 11th and January 31st, as well as February 1st. Recall if they see any witnesses, anything out of the ordinary, etc. If there's any new information, you guys know what to do. Call 1-800, call FBI. I think that's what it is. We'll get to that if it's not. But I'm sure you'll find it. Now, the public has also been asked to stay vigilant and avoid sending money to anyone who claims to be raising funds linked to this kidnapping case. Guys, there's a bunch of scammers out there now trying to profit off of this faster than you can imagine. All right. Velvet Unicorn, good to see you. All right, listen, astrology, I got an episode for you today. You're in the perfect place, my friend, because we are going to look at the duality of why Savannah is viewed as an angel and Annie as a demon. Was exploiting Nancy during the NBC specials and was not anything for her mother. Let me give you a big hug, first of all, and tell you, if you don't know me, now you know me. I love discussions. And I love discussions with people that don't think the same way as me, because we can agree to disagree. But that's all going to be answered for you in just a few minutes. All right. So let's continue. That was a great question, though. Why is Savannah looked at as an angel, and why is Annie not? So let's take a look at Annie. I think that's a perfect segue to get into the family dynamics. And let's just look at Annie and see. Let's quickly look at her book, right? She's got several books that she's published, but this book is called The Good Dark, all right? The Good Dark. If anyone knows what that means, then you know, all right? Good to see you, Michelle. How you doing, MM Clark? Big hug. And astrology, perfect point, well taken, all right? Annie was covering up her face too. Both of them were. I know. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. We're getting into the family dynamics, and particularly the siblings of Savannah and Annie and the jealousy that allegedly is there. We hear from people in the neighborhood and people in the family that say there was contention with Savannah and Annie was jealous. But that's not confirmed by Savannah at all. All right, Rocco says, I think Savannah is questioning her mind if they're involved. I agree, but not publicly. Okay, so this is her book. It's called The Good Dark. I'm like, I mean, I know what the good dark means, but what does she mean by this? All right, so it's poems, a sequence of poems comprising Annie Guthrie's first book. Now, the quest for the meaning of human consciousness and its tangled subjectivity is as drawn as a slow building narrative of mystic experience. The journey enacted is that of self as character who encounters insurmountable mysteries in a breaking selfhood. A dozier of contemplative exploration. The Good Dark chronicles an immersive search in three acts: unwitting, chorus, and body, stations through which the character must pass and where she is accumulatively confessed, compounded, and erased.